The Boston Celtics are heading into a season full of major changes. In order to avoid financial complications with the dreaded NBA second tax apron, the front office was forced to adjust its pieces. To make matters even more complicated, the team will have to find solutions on the court without Jayson Tatum for now, as he recovers from a serious Achilles injury. In this turbulent context, inevitable trade rumors surfaced involving key names. Derrick White, Jaylen Brown, and even Sam Hauser appeared as potential pieces in negotiations. And it was precisely this topic that Hauser addressed during Boston Celtics Media Day. The forward, who signed a 4-year, $45 million contract last offseason, suddenly found himself at the center of speculation only a year after securing stability. Hauser didn't hide the weight of the situation. He opened up and spoke candidly. "You try to ignore it, but the truth is you can't. I know it's part of the business. I was prepared for anything. If I had been traded, so be it. But I stayed, and I'm happy about that. Even if I had been moved, I wouldn't hold any resentment. This franchise gave me a chance when no one else believed in me. They extended my contract, they had tough decisions to make, and I understood that. But of course I'm glad to still be here." It was a mature statement, but one filled with powerful undertones. Hauser, a crucial piece off the bench, has retained Joe Mazzulla's trust thanks to his consistent role as the team's top three-point shooter. Last season, he averaged 8.5 points, 3.2 rebounds, and an impressive 41.6% from beyond the arc. Numbers that make him one of the most reliable players on a roster desperate for quick solutions to remain competitive. But will that trust be enough in the face of financial instability? And the challenge of keeping the roster balanced without Tatum? Hauser's future may look secure today, but the reality of the NBA shows that nothing is guaranteed. And with an increasingly aggressive market, the real question is this: how long will Sam Hauser continue wearing the green jersey of the Boston Celtics? Without Jayson Tatum, sidelined for the entire season after the severe Achilles injury suffered during the playoffs against the New York Knicks, the weight now falls on Jaylen Brown. The forward, crowned Finals MVP in 2024, will for the first time take on the role of the franchise's primary offensive leader, and it was Brown himself who delivered one of the boldest statements of the offseason. In an interview set to air in Netflix's Starting 5 series, the player did not hold back when speaking about the blockbuster move that shook the league: Luka Doncic's departure from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers. In Brown's view, the move was a monumental mistake. Quote, "This might have been one of the worst trades of all time. A harsh opinion, but one that resonates with analysts and even with theories circulating behind the scenes in the NBA. After all, the decision by Nico Harrison and the Mavericks' new front office sparked outrage among fans and journalists alike. Some even speculated that the trade could be linked to a long-term strategy of relocating the franchise to Las Vegas in the near future. Meanwhile, in Boston, the scenario is one of partial reconstruction. Without Tatum, with Drew Holiday now in Portland and Kristaps Porzingis playing for the Atlanta Hawks, Brown will have to carry much of the load on his own. Derrick White emerges as his main partner. And the arrival of Anthony Simons, part of the Holiday trade package, raises both excitement and questions about how well he will adapt to Joe Mazzulla's system. The truth is that the pressure on Jaylen Brown has never been greater. Even after being crowned champion in the 2024 finals, he still faces critics who doubt his ability to be the #1 offensive option for an entire season. Now, with no excuses and no Tatum overshadowing him, the spotlight is fully his. The Boston Celtics opened the season on October 22nd against the Philadelphia 76ers, and that game could already set the tone for what lies ahead. But the big question remains: can Jaylen Brown turn pressure into leadership and prove he is capable of carrying the Boston Celtics to the top on his own? Or will this be the season when his limitations are finally exposed for the entire league to see? The Boston Celtics shook up the market this offseason when they decided to send Drew Holiday to the Portland Trail Blazers in exchange for Anthony Simons, a bold move that immediately raised questions. After all, would the $100 million guard truly be part of the franchise's long-term plans? Or was he simply a temporary piece within a financial adjustment? Now, with training camp underway, Anthony Simons has spoken publicly for the first time. And his message was clear: he is in Boston to win. Quote, "I was really excited about the opportunity to come here and be part of an already established culture. What motivated me the most was the chance to play at the highest level and fight for wins. There is no doubt about Simons' offensive ability. In Portland, he averaged 19.3 points and 4.8 assists last season. He has already scored 30 or more points in a game 39 times in his career. His shooting range and ability to attack the rim make him an immediate weapon for the Celtics offense. But the biggest question lies elsewhere. Defense has always been the most criticized part of his game. He knows it, and so does coach Joe Mazzulla, who has already spoken openly with the guard about how to address this challenge. For Mazzulla, Simons is underrated in that area. According to the coach, on defense, you are not as bad as people say. The weight of Simons' arrival was also highlighted by Jayson Tatum, who, even while sidelined with injury, made sure to show his support. In an interview with USA Today, Tatum stated, "He has already shown that he is really good in the NBA. Now he comes into an environment where expectations are different. He is an unbelievable player, and I believe he will thrive here." It was not only Tatum who endorsed his arrival. Brad Stevens, president of basketball operations, also emphasized the importance of the new addition. He is the kind of guy who forces opponents to prepare. You have to study his game because he can decide matches. These statements make it clear why Boston kept Simons. He may not have Jrue Holiday's defensive reputation, but he brings something the franchise values. Offensive firepower to complement Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, and even Peyton Pritchard. Now, the burning question is what role Simons will play. Will he start alongside White, or will he lead the second unit? The player himself showed maturity when asked, "I want to contribute to winning at the highest level. Whatever my role is, I am ready for it. It is a new beginning, a chance to erase old labels and prove he can be more than just scoring." But within a Boston Celtics team that urgently needs to maintain a high standard, even without Jayson Tatum, one doubt cannot be ignored. Will Anthony Simons be able to carry this responsibility and turn potential into real impact inside the most successful franchise in NBA history? Al Horford faced one of the toughest decisions of his career this offseason. After spending 7 of the last 9 seasons wearing the Boston Celtics jersey, and after finally winning the 2024 championship, the first of his 18-year NBA career, it seemed unlikely that he would take a different path. But the scenario changed. From the start, Horford made 2 things clear. He was not considering retirement, and if he had to play for another team, the destination was obvious: the Golden State Warriors. Quote, "It is a great opportunity to compete and win at the highest level. When I think of the Warriors, I think of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Steve Kerr, and even Jimmy Butler, who changed the team at the end of last season. It was not easy to leave Boston, but if there was a right place, it was here, and I was not going to let this chance slip away." Curiously, until April, Horford's departure seemed unlikely. He was a central piece of Boston's culture, loved by the fans, respected by the front office, and his family was deeply connected to the team's daily life. But Jayson Tatum's serious injury, suffered in the playoffs against the New York Knicks, changed everything. Without their biggest star, the Celtics were forced to reshape the roster. Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis were traded, Luke Kornet left in free agency, and Horford's exit suddenly became possible. In Golden State, the fit is almost immediate. Steve Kerr highlighted that the center's experience and versatility are vital for the team's motion system. It's not just about having a big man who can space the floor, it's about having Al Horford. He defends, passes, understands the game, and can play in any lineup. The adaptation is natural. Those same qualities were essential in Boston over the past years. Even at 38 years old, the Celtics carefully managed his minutes, avoided back-to-back games, and protected his body to keep him productive. Now, in Golden State, that workload management will also be discussed. But both Kerr and Horford chose not to commit to any specifics, making it clear that the medical staff will play a central role in the decisions. The contract signed reflects the weight of this choice. 2 years under the mid-level exception, with a player option for next season. A mutual bet. Horford brings stability and experience, while the Warriors offer him one last stage of elite competition. The veteran himself admitted that the entire offseason process was unusual. The delay in Jonathan Kuminga's contract situation slowed down his official signing, but now, with the deal finalized, all focus is on preparation. It was a strange offseason full of waiting and uncertainty, but I kept my focus on training. I prepared myself to be ready from day one.